Good morning from the National Weather Service in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Monday, May 1st. Warm weather and some flooding concerns will continue as we keep our above normal temperature pattern continuing through midweek. Got a next system arriving for Thursday into Friday. Looks like it's going to cool things down, bring some widespread rain. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today: warm and dry conditions will continue through Wednesday. We're going to see increased snowmelt and runoff, leading to some continued sheet and river flooding impacts, as well as a slight chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms each day, predominantly in the mountains. Our next system will arrive for Thursday into Friday. We're going to see confidence increasing on more widespread rain and very high elevation mountain snow as we return to some at or below normal temperatures for the later part of the week. Rain on snow will lead to some increased flooding concerns, so we're already seeing some flooding out there due to the warmer temperatures we've been seeing, but those temperatures will be at least returning to at or below normal levels starting for Friday. Heading into early next week, active weather is favored to continue as we remain at near normal levels for temperatures. Satellite this morning, you can see mostly clear skies prevailing. You did have some showers and thunderstorms work through western Idaho and eastern Oregon, and those are continuing to lift north, but outside of that, we'll just see increasing clouds lift out of the south out through the Great Basin throughout the day, with an overall fairly pleasant day ahead. Bigger picture for you, so you can see this ridge of high pressure that's pretty broad to our southwest, and this is approaching low just off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. This will continue to work down the coast and kind of stay near stationary at times as it does, but we're going to be watching the system as it works further northeast into our area, so kind of making this U shape here into our area, and this will be tapping into some more atmospheric river moisture type level that's going to be currently out there in the Pacific. Weather outlook for the next 5 days. Main concerns over the next couple days will be centering around the flooding, and as well as some breezy winds and just a slight chance for some afternoon thunderstorms. For Thursday and Friday, we'll see precipitation work more widespread in throughout the day. We're going to see scattered showers and pretty numerous thunderstorms at times, especially in the afternoon hours, with plenty of moisture to work with. And by the weekend, we are going to see at least a little bit of drier conditions, but keeping with chances for precipitation continuing. Watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect, so lots of hydro products. We've got a flood watch, flood advisories, flood warnings out in effect. I'll be kind of going through exact river warnings that we have out this morning as well. So just starting off at Antelope Creek at Darlington, so that's currently at an action stage up there in the Big Lost River Valley just west of there. So seeing that at an action stage, so continuing to monitor that. Bigwood River at Hailey, so seeing that again at action stage is forecast to reach minor stage as we head into the later part of this week into early next week. Certainly something to keep in mind on there with only minor flooding impacts expected. Littlewood River, this is near High Five Creek, so this is seeing some action to minor flooding concerns, so we're seeing that about 6 feet there, and that's just east of the Bigwood River Valley. Portneuf River at Pocatello, so this is probably one of our more impressive gauges that we're seeing right now. Again, this is at 9.65 feet, so we're already talking historic crest in the top 5 almost this by the end of today into early tomorrow. Could be pushing the 3rd or 4th highest crest at this gauge, and it is expected to reach moderate to even potentially major flood stage, depending on how much rain we get for the later part of this week, so certainly something to keep an eye on, as that 10.9 feet would knock off the flooding, so this hasn't happened since 2006, so it might knock that down back to 4th place, and this flooding might be the 3rd most impactful flooding at the Portneuf River in Pocatello. Portneuf River at Topaz, still seeing some actionable to minor flooding, with that expected to continue at the minor flood stage. Again, the confluence of the Marsh Creek into the Marsh Creek into the Portneuf area is going to be causing lots of that snowmelt to build up in that area at the confluence there in Pocatello. High temperatures and wind gusts today, so overall temperatures will be fairly pleasant, 60s and 70s in the mountains, 80s to low 90s as you get into the Magic Valley and Snake Plain, with afternoon wind gusts peaking in around that 20 to 35 mile an hour range, pushing about 40 as you get into the South Hills. We do have a slight chance for some thunderstorms. Most of this will be over the higher terrain today. Again, fairly isolated in nature, but certainly as you get into higher elevations further north and east of the Snake Plain, so we're going to have the best chance for some thunderstorms today. High temperatures and wind gusts for your Tuesday, so it's much cooler in the Snake Plain at least, but we're still seeing 60s and 70s in the mountains, 70s and 80s now across the Snake Plain, with again some breezy winds working out of the south, gusts between about 20 to 40 miles an hour. Severe weather outlook for your Tuesday. Again, keep it with chances for some thunderstorms. Again, that'll be predominantly across the eastern highlands. Not looking at a whole lot of coverage elsewhere, as mostly dry conditions prevail for Tuesday. High temperatures and wind gusts for your Wednesday, so fairly typical to what we saw in contrast to Monday, but keeping with that trend as we head into Tuesday. Fairly similar temperatures, 60s, 70s in the mountains, 70s and 80s in the Snake Plain, with afternoon wind gusts again, about 20 to 35 miles an hour. And the outlook for your Wednesday, again, is a sliver up there in the eastern highlands, north of Island Park, but keeping with just some chances for some thunderstorms in the mountains, especially along the Continental Divide, but overall fairly dry conditions continue through midweek. High temperatures and wind gusts for your Thursday. So this is as our system is going to be rolling in. So with that increased cloud cover, getting some colder temperatures back in there. Looks like 50s and 60s in the mountains now, 60s and 70s across the Snake Plain, with gusts between about 20 to 35 miles an hour. High temperatures and wind gusts for your Friday. So temperatures noticeably cooler. We're looking at 40s and 50s now in the mountains for afternoon highs, 50s and 60s. This is below normal temperatures. So, bring whiplash at least from upper 80s to 60s. But in some places about 30 to 40 degrees cooler than what we saw earlier in the week. But we're going to have those breezy winds helping to usher in that system. We're going to see some widespread precipitation impacts Thursday into Friday. And as we get some drier conditions working in for the weekend, those colder temperatures will stick around. And speaking of those high temperatures for your weekend, here's the first look. Looks like 40s and 50s in the mountains, 60s across the valley areas and the Snake Plain. And that continues into Sunday, if not seeing a slightly warmer trend as you head into the Magic Valley. And a look at what's to come. 6 to 10 day outlook, again, keeping us at near normal to at or below normal temperatures as we head into May 6th through 10th, so later part of this week into early part of next week. And 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. So you can see, again, we talked about that low pressure off the coast here. That will be working into our area, but also setting up a pretty favorable storm track. It's going to be an omega block centered up over the central United States, so keeping a fairly active weather pattern going on up here in the Pacific Northwest through our more large portions of eastern Idaho and up towards Montana and Wyoming, but keeping some drier conditions as you head further east. 8 to 14, keep it again with that active weather trend as we head into mid-May. And as far as temperatures go, staying at or below normal favorites. So we're leaning below normal favorites. So we started off the month very warm. It's going to be in the 80s today for most people, especially in the Snake Plain. But we're starting to see those temperatures back down as we head into the middle part of May. That's about all I got for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day.